Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Car Meet Garage. My name is Don, and we're here with our buddy Cody, who is a frequenter of our car meet.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, we kind of got the history of the Bay City car scene going back a few generations sitting here because I did it.
Oh my God.
You did it for a few years, and now Greg's got it.
That's wild.
It is wild, isn't it?
It's wild. Oh yeah.
I remember when you're in like high school and just starting out, and you guys thought that we all hated you because you guys drove imports and I drove Camaro.
Yeah.
Then you come to find out that I was into import stuff also.
Who's this guy with this DSM that thinks it's cool? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, we'll jump right into kind of what got you started in the car hobby.
Yeah. Goes back to, really, it came from video games. It came from Need for Speed Underground.
Yeah.
That was like that and, my old buddy Mark Rogers, he had like a 4th gen Camaro that we used to mess around with when we turboed it. It's a V6.
I think he still has it.
And he still does. But that's tend to where it all stemmed from. And then going to the Bay City rides, like car meets and stuff like that. I think I was like 15, 16 years old, and met a bunch of people, even some of the people that I still talk today. Like, I don't know if you interviewed like Rice or Matt or anybody like that.
No, we haven't done Matt Shopping yet.
No. Okay. No. Well, so got introduced to everybody like in that kind of car culture, and I wanted to do more of it, and that led me down a whole road of just being broke all the time, and and like going to car meets and doing the Mexico stuff, and it's definitely been that's like where it all started, and then ever since then, it's grown
right downhill, and then you kind of married into it too.
Oh yeah,
you got the Wife's Miata sitting here too.
Yeah. She autocrosses and stuff like that. It keeps us together, and it's pretty cool, Don. It's
right soon enough. The kid will be into it.
Oh yeah, that's the plan.
So, what was your first car?
First car was a Nissan 240. Yep, I've been with the same chassis ever since I was about 17. So, yep.
Yeah, I know that pain.
Yeah, a creature of habit. It sucks.
Creature of habit. That's for dang sure.
Yep.
So, we can talk about some of your current projects right now, because we are sitting next to one of the most notable cars in this actual area is your 240 SX.
Thanks, man.
Because it is, it's a little dirty right now, but when it's out, you recognize it because it has this beautiful wrap job on it done by who?
Shelby Wilson, man.
Yeah.
He's a master. He's
perfectionist at everything that he does.
He is. This is his first time he's ever wrapped anything, and I've shown other people who wrap and everything, and it blows them away. But there's been multiple people that's helped me with this vehicle. It's not just my own, and this car made this was my second 240 that I truly put a lot of time and effort into. My first one was an S13 with an RB25 swap, which is out of a Nissan Skyline.
Yep.
And, that was like kind of like my learning project car type deal,
Yep.
And then I could refine, my mechanical skills and everything to this one,
Right. And what's under the hood of this one?
This is just it's a 5.3 LM7, thanks to Nick
Militello.
Yep. Because the first day I had this thing LS1 swap.
You brought it to my house and said, Donnie, come drive this.
Don, you gotta check this out. This is my first V8 I've ever had. This is so awesome.
Yeah, and I drove it.
Yeah, I was like, Don, here, check it out.
Yeah.
Take it for a rip.
And we did, and it drove okay. And then I got a phone call, not but an hour later.
And it just starts knocking. And
not when I was in it. I had nothing to do with that.
I was like, so that's what these LSs and everything about. This is great.
Another goddamn LS.
But, and this was just before this event called Grid Life that myself and a lot of my other friends and everything go to, and it's a big car festival, drifting, track racing, yada yada yada. And I was really bummed out because I was broke, man. It was expensive, getting all the parts and everything necessary and the time and, putting this together, because like the end goal was to make it to this grid life or whatever and go there with like huge group of people. Right. Well, Nick Melitello, he knew I was bumming, and he shows up one morning at my house, and says, "Cody, I got something for you," like an Italian mafia guy, Yeah. And I was like, Nick, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, man. I'm, barely awake. You come outside, and I'm like, oh, okay. And he has a 5.3. He's like, make sure this 5.3 whatever is like up and running, whatever. Make sure you can get it to grid life. I was like, wow, man. So like, I mean, not just him. Like, there's been multiple people that's have had their hands in this car too, but I don't know. It's pretty neat. Yeah, it's definitely been a fun watching it progress, know? Yeah. So, because it's, because it used to have the big football helmet at the front. No, that's the old one.
Oh, the old, okay.
Yeah, that's the old car, man.
It's all 240s.
Yep, yeah, it's all 240s, man. They're all piles of shit. I mean,
but right now people want a cajillion dollars for them all.
I don't understand it, and like, because at the time, the reason why I got into imports and everything was because, well, these things were cheap. Like you could go get a running and driving one for $1 to $2 grand. It was awesome. Because not a lot of people around here knew, like, you could put an LS, you could put an RB, an SR, a CA, 1J, 2J, the list goes on and on and on. And the internet kind of took over those things, and man, and it's unfortunately, like, I really, really wanted to drift this car a lot. And I do. Unfortunately, the last time I went drifting, it kind of ruined it a little bit. And
it happens.
It happens, man. It's what happens.
It's the nature of the beast.
Yep. If you use your car, that's what happens.
Right.
But
it's better that something happened with you being the cause than some little old lady that you're getting only be mad at yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Going 50 sideways and all of a sudden the wheels rip off. It was
not ideal.
Yeah, it happens.
What are you gonna do? So if you had to give the car a 5-year plan, what's the future of this car? I mean,
better suspension for one. At least some like BC coilovers. What needs to be done now is I want to put a fuel cell in it by Radium, and then after that, there's a 6.0 behind there. Build that up a little bit and either go supercharger or turbo it. That's the end goal. Then after that, I can kind of just relax a little bit.
Drifting, I go turbo. I love the sound of a good old Pro Charger, but man, belt issues.
Yeah.
Going in and out of the throttle like that, if that bracket ain't completely stable, you're tossing a belt.
Now, what I do like though is I've started to become like, I really like naturally aspirated too though, which is really strange. One, because like to me it's less heat. You can be out on the track a lot longer, and it seems less problematic, in my opinion.
Right.
But, yeah, I just want a boosted V8 now. Everybody else around here is so damn fast. It sucks.
Dude, just imagine when we first started, not when I first started, like when you first started coming around, and like if you had a 13-second car, you were moving. You
were moving back then.
That's what we used to race with, 13-second cars.
yeah.
And then now it was like all of a sudden 12s and 11s, and then now 10s, and now you get 8 seconds is like the new normal. It's wild.
Yep.
As far as quarter mile goes, anyway.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I just it's different from when when I started into the car stuff and like to
not
what
saying there's anything wrong with it either, because progress is progress, and going fast. I love going fast. Yep. So,
but So that's it.
Right.
Pretty much just get the fuel shit done and some suspension and possibly force induction down the road. Yep,
it's a good plan.
Yeah.
It's always a good plan. I like force induction, nitrous too.
Oh, I know you do.
Yeah,
I know you do.
I like you. Don't
yes.
Like nitrous, but, so of all the, because I know you've owned a bunch of cars. What's your favorite car you've ever owned?
Probably this one now. Previously, before this, I had a purple another purple S14 that I bought from Ricer Matt.
Yep.
You know,
I remember that car because that one car came from
J-Woo
out in Flint.
Yep. And the man who built that was something rich, something. But anyways, that car in particular, like, it was a built KA24DE, which is just a 2.4 liter naturally aspirated stock 4-cylinder, but it had, it was all high compression and it had a set of cams in it, but it was just as fast as about a stock SR20.
For the time, it was pretty rowdy. I spent some time in that car.
God, I love that car because it was so predictable, and I wish I never would have got rid of that car. Especially knowing what I know now.
Yeah, because I remember the story from Matt's end of that too. Is you gave him an offer you asked Matt how much you wanted to sell the car, and he gave you some weird number, and you're like, okay, I'll be right back.
Yep. And then, kind of adulting kind of happened. I had to get a daily driver, so then I had to buy an all-wheel drive DSM to be able to get back and forth to work,
He bought a DSM trying to be reliable.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
What an idiot.
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 Nothing from me. Nothing.
That was.
We call it Donnie spending money for a reason.
I regret that decision to this day.
It's all right. Yeah.
But
something with the DSMs, they're like herpes, dude. Like, I've gotten rid of every DSM I've owned because I hate it. I want another one.
Like, you have no idea how bad I want one.
Yeah, my wife sends it to me all the time. I was like, nope. My only exception will be it'll have to be a 2GB.
Okay.
In white, in Eclipse.
Really?
Yeah, it's got to have the big wing in white.
See, I've never had a 1G. I've only had a 2G, and I really want a 1G.
I've had 1G-As and 1GB.
Yeah.
Yep. And 6 bolts and 7 bolts, and the crank lock is
that's a myth.
It's more of a myth. Unless you're making incredible power, it's more of a myth than it's whatever. But yeah. But anyway, this isn't about me. My dream DSM, if you have it out there and want to give it to me, it's perfectly okay too.
Hey, me too.
2 of them. Well, yeah. 2.
Yeah.
What color do you want yours? I want mine in white.
I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care.
So whatever color you have in white. So, is there any cars that you want to own?
It's weird because the older I'm getting now, I'm 34, and I've had nothing but shitbox cars for a long time. I've been eyeing up the new Nissan Z. It's
a cool looking car.
Oh man, like it's everything that I wanted in a newer car now. I think I truly believe it's going to be the last of the non-hybrid manual rear-wheel drive, yada 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 for Nissan. Like I think this is Nissan's last hurrah, at a pure gasoline car.
And you know what I mean? You're
like
probably right, because you think about it, GM, they've still got the Corvette, but Camaro's done again.
What?
Camaro's done, and they're bringing it. I heard rumor they're bringing it back in 2 years or 3 years as electric. And then the Charger and Challenger, they're done. They're going electric. Ford, the Mustang's the last sole survivor right now, except for like Corvette or some weird exotics.
Yeah.
And you might be right. It might be Nissan's last hurrah.
I think so, man. I really do.
And Toyota's got their BMW Supra.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't talk about that.
We won't talk about that. But nothing beats a Mark IV.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
The Mark V is I wouldn't turn down a Mark V for free, but the Mark IV is.
I mean, any Nissan actually is better than a Mark IV Supra. Just saying. I don't care if it's even an Altima.
Oh, boo! yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's just those who know me. Know.
Yeah, I like a good. I know you like a good Mark IV Supra.
Oh yeah,
down.
It's
So you got any future projects in the works? You guys gonna do anything to the wife's car? Or?
The Miata, to be honest, as weird as it sounds, like other than just wheels, tire, suspension, I want to, we want to leave this like factory, because when she does do like the SCCA type stuff,
She's in the stock class stuff?
Yeah, she's in the stock class, and it's so nice, man. The thing has power steering and AC, and it's like a normal car. It's so cool, to have like luxury features.
Man,
to me, that's high class.
It's almost like you have a Tacoma sitting on the driveway. They should have all that.
Yeah, well,
it's not the same as being in your fun car.
Yeah, like fun cars, man.
That's the same for me. Like when I drive Rachel's 30th Camaro, her Z28.
Yeah,
that car has AC, heat, has everything. Where my cars are like, welcome to the jungle. Yeah.
In a weird way, though, I kind of like. Take for instance, one of the most refined cars that I've ever driven was a Audi R8, Nick Dubbs.
R8. Dude, he's always has something cool.
All right, man, he always has something cool. And then, one day, he was just like, he looked at the keys and he just tossed them to me. He was like, go take it out for a rip. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, okay. Well, I had that thing about going about 135, 140 or something. In Mexico somewhere. And it was...
It's a different fast.
Everything was just refined. It was, and it was fast, but it was, I still felt more on edge and more, I had like more of an exhilarating, like adrenaline type feeling in this car. You know what I mean? It's so weird. So, exotics and like expensive cars and all this stuff, it never really ever did anything for me anyway, and that it really like cemented
it changes your perspective on it.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, it's I've been in the same situation and driving some weird exotics and stuff like that.
Yeah, you drove that Ferrari.
Yeah, that was definitely cool.
Yeah,
and I looked at the wife and I said I want one, and it's different. And I've been in Seth's McLaren 720S.
Okay, yeah,
that car is an absolute
it's nasty
monster, man.
Nasty.
It is nasty.
Yeah,
and but. Like the build quality on the McLaren, it's okay, but it's not as good as like even an old Nissan,
dude.
Like I'm not saying that 720 isn't crap, but like the build quality on it isn't like it's like they didn't care putting the panels on because panel gaps are different than like you look up your panel gap on your car and it's straight. You look at a McLaren and sometimes they're off.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild.
But I would not hesitate at buying one because they are still an incredible car. But you would think you're spending.
Can you justify what
$350,000 or whatever on a McLaren or whatever the heck they cost?
Yeah.
And to have I want my panel gaps need to be perfect at that price.
Yeah, they do. Myself, I like the rawness of a project built car. I mean, whether it be like Greg's Camaro or Don's turboed Camaro. I mean, it like. Or
he got to drive my car at the wedding.
Yeah, it was cool.
I was like, who do I trust enough to stick in the car and not take it away from anybody else? But like he took my car from the hall back to my house and put it away for me.
Yeah, that's an experience. Stuff like that, man. Like, I don't take for granted at all because there's not many people that ever get to have or do things like that, and like I got a lot of appreciation for the people that I've come across, and got to be in like fast ass Evos and Supras and
we have such a cool like that. Growing up, we had the coolest friend group. Like even some of our, like Billy Stoles had the Mark IV Supra.
That's what I'm saying, man.
As that car is friggin' gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's so many guys out there that we know, and Dubs has had 911 GT3 RS and friggin' the R8 and oh my god, man. Like all sorts of cool stuff that just in in the old friend group that it's incredible that we got to experience so much stuff.
Yep. It's definitely cool to see everybody grow from when I was young to what they have now, or and even to some of the people that have gone away from it too, and that's fine. It is a very tough hobby to stay in,
right?
It is, man,
because even when I talk to Matt sometimes, because Matt's family man, he's got he got a pontoon boat, but every time I hang out with him or something, he sees one of the cars, he's like, man, I want to get another one.
I drive past his house every day and I rip on it. Wow,
gotta keep that bug right.
And I get a text from, man, it sounds good,
Matt, if you're watching this, that's why. Keep that bug in your ear, dude.
Yeah. So No,
it's a good way to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You hear that sound, you never forget it,
dude.
He's gonna be Ricer Matt forever.
100%.
Right.
100%. It's hard for me to call him and like by his normal name.
Right.
It is. But
yeah, it's been a good experience.
Yeah.
You know, with good people.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So all the car stuff. What other hobbies do you keep yourself occupied with?
Fishing, you know.
Yeah, I see that.
I absolutely love fishing, man. It's from kayak fishing. We just bought a boat, bass boat here.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah,
it's, you know, and a lot of it, you know, it's my old lady, man. She because before this, you know, it was mostly just the cars, you know. And when we got together, you know, she told me she never even caught like a game fish before, you know. And when she hooked a pike one time, and she, oh yeah, you know, and like she, you know, the first time she held it, she was, you know, it was just excitement, you know. And so that progressively, you know, was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a couple of rods and reels, you know, some tackle, yada yada yada. Okay, well, let's get some kayaks. Okay, da 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 da. Okay, let's get some fish finders, and now we'll get a boat, and because now we got a kid, and you know, so it just.
And your kid likes it. Looks like they enjoy fishing.
Oh man, the kid for me is I can't wait to introduce her to
this
everything, man.
Everything.
Yeah, like because it's almost like reliving and doing everything all over again and enjoying everything again, you know, and you know, I can't wait to take her drifting and, you know, go out on the track, you know, at, you know, 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, you know. And
yeah, because my first experience actually drifting is in your car.
Wow.
So with you taking me for just a rip, you know, I've slid my Camaros around, but actually to go out and just do a consistent drift was in your old football front car. Oh, so God. Super raw. It was a good time.
I don't know how we're still here. We should have been dead.
We should have been dead a long time.
Should have been dead. Should have been dead.
Yeah. Well, you know, you had that on the big jobs.
No, I really like what you guys are doing as far as like this, like.
Yeah, we're trying to keep the cars. We're trying to knock the car scene. We're trying to keep the car meet active and going through the winter. And it's another one of the bad ideas. I looked at Greg and says, "Hey," and he's like, "Yeah." So it works out. So. Obviously, you're brand loyal pretty much to Toyota. Or not, I mean to Nissan. Don't slap me. Don't hit me. I'm sorry.
I gotta get my gun. Hold on. All right, anyway.
Right, well, that turned from being family friendly.
Sorry.
So if you have to look, because you've been to a bunch of the car meets and stuff, right? To the base, not just, you know, like mine or yours.
Oh, yeah,
the Greg stuff. To the base of the car meet stuff. If you had to look back. Yeah. Screw it. You know something? We will even go as far back. We're going right back. Right, we're going right. So
I'm about it.
What's your top 3 favorite car show, car meet memories? Specifically, car show, car meet in this area.
Okay, so definitely like when the car meets back in the day, man, it's hard. It's really hard to beat like the era of like
behind the lumber baron and over.
Dude, it was going, you know, to the Bay City car rides meets, and then it was going to Tropical Smoothie, you know, and then seeing like Illicit Speed over at Advanced Auto Parts, and going over to Freeland in the Tridge, and like over in Midland and like,
because there was different meets in different cities, and then same night we would hop in the cars and drive from Bay City to Midland, and then say Midland pick those guys up and then cruise out to like down to Saginaw meet, and then go do the Saginaw loop. Then we'd race in the Saginaw loop or go hit the highway.
That's what got me hooked on. And it was, you know, and it was showing up with all your boys and stuff like that, you know, like being, you know, 20 deep or whatever, you know, and like pulling up into the lot and stuff like that. And like, and it was cool, man. Like I will never forget that. You know?
Oh, it's always good. That's some of the best memories.
Oh, yeah, it's staple.
And just think, since we're the old guys, some of the younger guys coming in, that's the memories we're making for them right now.
Oh, yeah.
So people need to remember that how we act and stuff, that's how the younger generation's going to remember.
Yeah.
How to remember what's going on right now, because I've done it, you've done it, Greg's doing it now. And who's going to be the next person? And we want that person to continue that on at some given juncture, and we want to leave a good standing memory.
Yep.
So, okay, that was one. What's your second?
So
we're not going to start crying
like memories and stuff, definitely from, I believe it was like 2012, 2013 to 2016 or so. I used to put on pretty big car meets and stuff like that over at the Edison, and, after every night, go out to Mexico and and it was cool to do the call outs and everything. And, people put it all down. It was pretty raw. It was fun.
Because even my old ass at that point, you don't want at 2 o'clock in the morning, everybody's still out playing at that juncture in the road.
Yeah, going out to, I really enjoyed going out to Flint and stuff like that, man. That was fun.
We actually did that this year, and that was a riot.
Really?
Oh yeah, do the same old stuff out there pretty much. Dude. It was a lot of fun. I had a riot.
As far as the burnouts, Greg, that Greg hosts over at his house, man. Yeah. Dude, that's so cool. Badass.
We couldn't pull that off back then. Dude, people were doing burnouts then, and we were getting in trouble. I'm calling Donnie. You're doing burnouts in the slot. And now Greg's got it figured out, and we're over at friggin' Great Lakes Motorsports at that extra pad doing burnouts. Yeah. And we got guys like Side by Side Blog out there with Hell Force and friggin' Ricky Spencer, Rich Rules out there with friggin' the Battle Act friggin' ripping out some. And those are pro level friggin' burnout cars.
What's going on is it's getting better and better and better. That's what I'm saying. And I can't. It would be hard for me to get out of this hobby now because the way that it has progressed. Since back then, we can talk about the golden years, but in all retrospect, now it has gotten better. Even the car meets out in Midland. Some kids and everything that put it on over at AutoZone. Shout out to those guys, they do a good job too. And they, what is it? Doing the same thing as the best kind of flattery or whatever. When you see in the food trucks and everything out in Midland and everything.
Oh yeah. Imitation is the
best form of flattery.
There's actually more to that. There's actually more to that quote though that makes it really bad.
but what I'm saying is,
I know what you mean. Yeah,
it's there's very similar car vibes and feels, between if you're over here in Bay City or over in Midland, but typically if you kind of over here in Bay City, there's more of a older 2 crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I kind of enjoy that a little bit more.
We're getting older.
So,
right. Definitely we're still not lame or nothing because even there's some weekends that there's still some of the old stuff going on with us. Not even just old timers, but it's such a small group of us that actually go out and are willing to have fun in Mexico. Make that 16-hour drive to the friggin' Mexico border and then go touch them off. It's a long night.
Yeah, it is. But those days, those nights, whatever, man, that's what sticks with you though. 100%.
Oh right.
That's why I'm still in this stuff.
Oh right. Even in Bay City, if you wanna race, you can set something up. If you want to go hang out and set that up, you need help on your car, just ask. Yep.
That is what's so cool about this community too. Is I can't tell you how many people, oh man, I need to be able to get to work, my tires.
Cody on the tire machine.
Dude, all right, man, just come on over, I'll help you out. Just get at me some other day. You know what I mean? It's, this community is pretty goddamn generous, I'd say. And,
yeah, you're not wrong. I think it's one of the best car communities that we have because you'll go towards south. It's a little chilly in your garage, dude. You can see our breath. But right. Is that sexual harassment?
Holy shit! It's kind of cold here. The propane is gone.
Right. You head a little south toward Detroit, and it gets a little more toxic. It does now. It is. Yeah. And it's people are getting kicked out of more of the lots and stuff down there.
Yep.
We're not doing that here because you're doing it right and hitting. Getting the permissions and that's the important thing is so that we don't get kicked out.
Oh yeah. I think the most toxic thing that there is like them damn takeovers and stuff like that.
Oh my God. It's terrible.
That stuff needs to go because it's ruining it for the true car enthusiasts, that go there, that want to learn,
Just think about what we were talking about with the younger guys coming in, and that's what they're seeing. That's the car. That's the car community, or the car hobby that we're presenting in front of them. Like, go spin your car around a bunch of crowds and pray you don't, or a bunch of crowd and pray you don't hit somebody, and then you do. That's why Chargers and Challengers is the new friggin' Mustang.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So Mustangs, you got to break. It's now the Chargers and Challengers.
Yeah.
So you can hate all you want, guys. They're simple facts, and
but it's cool though to direct like a younger generation into like, it's not all about the clout and the the stuff like that. Like the takeover stuff. Like, dude, and most of the people that do that kind of stuff, they don't know jack shit anyway. They don't.
Right. A couple years ago, I seen a guy post that he wanted money because he was out there doing sideshow and wanted money for his tires.
What?
It's like, get the fuck out of here,
man.
dude.
Get out of here.
No, that's your call. You don't have to do that. Nobody cares.
Dude. But, yeah. That's the only part of, like... it. And, one thing that does bug me about car culture, too, though, is I did like how secretive it was, like, back then, and it was forums. Like, that was like how you communicated back then,
I miss everybody misses the forum days, and I've been approached by a couple different people, and some people from a larger YouTube channel that hit me up about,
really, you
should restart the Basic Rides forums. Okay. And I was like, man, I looked into it, and I've made some phone calls, and we'll see.
Okay.
Purely, and I only said the Bay City Rides because it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Purely for the nostalgia behind it.
Yep.
But now with Facebook is pretty much. That's it. Forums were instant, but it's so much easier on Facebook that people overshare sometimes, and there's now got the algorithms and all the stuff that follow you. Say, I want to buy a 10-pack of burrito shells. I guarantee when I get back in the truck to leave here, I'm going to have advertisements on my Facebook for a 10-pack of burrito shells. And we didn't have that back then in the forums. The only person monitoring anything that was going on was the people who ran the forums. Yeah. And we couldn't see what you were looking at, Yeah. But it was a different time. Dude. And like they say, the social media is the best and the worst thing that could happen to society. I completely agree with that. Best and the worst. I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is, man. And that's a good thing to say about it too. Is it kind of is what it is because we don't have a whole lot of control over it. We can try to grab the hand that friggin' directs that, but it only goes so far. Yeah, and. But yeah, it's been an incredible journey, Oh yeah, big time. Oh, I just wonder what's gonna be next now. Right? That makes you wonder what's next. Oh yeah, yeah. So with all with GM and everybody else, kind of they're wanting to go EV by 2030 or whatever it is. Something like that, yeah. What it is, and where's it going to go? Because look, if you like electrics, that's cool. My personal opinion is that they're super lame.
I don't like electric cars.
You could put me in a Tesla Plaid, and it's still the 9-second car. Yeah, still there's no soul to it. There's no soul. And fast is fast. I can respect that. But man, I like to make race car noises. 100%. Yeah. 100%. I've been in slow cars and I think they're awesome, but they're just they feel alive. Like that Miata right there. It's a 1.6 liter, probably makes 90 to the wheels, but damn, man, I have fun with that. And I've been in, some fast Teslas or whatever, and even on an electric Jeep before, but still, there's just something about it that there's no soul, to me anyway. Yeah. They're very robotic, and it's very, Goddamn robot aliens.
I truly think, man, hydrogen's going to be the future. I really do. I think hydrogen, like,
even when I was in the Marine Corps, they had a couple of Suburbans and stuff that were converted over to hydrogen.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool, but it was like very like on base.
Okay.
It wasn't, it was neat.
Yep.
But they'd have to figure it out because it's super volatile. And,
okay.
But yeah, that's why I don't understand why I was on a military base when you have a bunch of friggin' 18-year-old kids friggin' bombing around military, because that's all it is.
Dude.
It's 18-year-old kids friggin' beating the crap out of friggin' stuff on.
That's how it is, man. That's
right.
Wow.
But yeah, dude, thanks for having us in your garage.
Yeah,
I
man.
Appreciate it.
Glad you guys came over.
Right. Do you have any social medias that people can follow you on?
Other than my name, that's about it. I don't really do too much, like.
I know you kind of been quiet on social media.
Yeah, man.
You get a little more active, especially if that comes up, because people love that thing.
Well, it's definitely, I got bummed out when I went drifting last, and then like the wheels ripped off because I used the wrong lug nuts, and Cody Gartner was with me, and like the lug nuts were still on the hub, but the wheels like separated from the seats and everything.
Oh.
So then when that happened about 50, the car just kind of, I was drifting, and then bam, both wheels came off, cracked the gas tank when it came down. So, and the shitty part about these cars.
Did you at least videotape it?
Maybe.
Yeah, we're going to need that.
Okay.
So, I love you, I love you, dude. So, we need it.
Okay. And,
okay.
what the hell was I going to say? Oh yeah, that radium fuel tank is what I want to get, and it tends to be right around like $3,500, to get it all up and going and everything. I kind of want to do that just so, if I do want to go forced inducted, anything like that, I'll have more than enough fuel.
It's future proofing it.
Yep, that's exactly it. And like the shitty thing is about these cars is, I think it was in 2018, you get a stock fuel tank for brand new for $400. Now people want used tanks that are prone to cracking,
right?
From the factory. Like, there was a problem. People want used tanks for like $1,000 to $1,500 now.
Yeah, no,
so like,
no, put a fuel cell in it.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, but yeah.
It's a project car, and fuel cells. Okay.
Yep. So, no, it just, car gets better and better, and it is what it is, man.
Yeah, dude. It's been an absolute ride,
dude. I gotta say thank you, Don. Actually, I mean, really, man. I swear to God, no. Like, if it wasn't for this, man, the car scene, the car community, and all that kind of stuff, I don't know if it would have had the same effect on me as it did today. Doing all those past experiences and stuff is the reason why I do what I do now. So it's pretty cool. So thank you, Don.
I'm glad my poor life choices positively affect your life.
Now I'm poor too.
Right. Oh, we're all poor.
It's great.
Right. It's too cold in here. Can we get 2 nickels to fucking rub together in here or something?
We'll rub together, Don. Don't worry about it. We will rub together.
So is there anybody else you want to thank? Anybody who's companies that have helped you out with or even that you want to think you're making a good product?
Yeah.
Yeah.
FR Sport and Juku Racing definitely helped me out with all the parts and everything. I kind of did my own due diligence as far as like getting what I needed to get. There was, Rex French, Shelby Wilson for sure. Melanie, Melanie is actually the one that stayed up with me till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, like putting this engine in and everything. And
she's a ride or die, man.
Dude,
she's awesome.
Dude, in one weekend we had this thing rolling, because she was just over because we wanted to get it ready for grid life or whatever. It goes down to there's been a lot of people, a ton that just look at the Bay City car community. I mean,
right.
I mean, you know, it's hard to build something like this just by yourself, you know. I mean, it really is, you know, but if you got the right people around you, you know, it makes a difference. It can make things come true, you know, like, and it's, you know, and I get asked all the time by other kids and stuff like that. Well, how did you afford to do this? And well, it takes a lot of hard work. A lot of work. You got to work your balls off. You got to want this.
It's not. Is this something like this isn't instant gratification?
No, man. You definitely got to put. I mean, there's times like I'd look at my socks and everything. There's holes in it. You know, I wore the same pairs of jeans for years. You know, and ate ramen noodles, and you know, always had to tell my friends that, like, man, I'm broke, because for the most part, man, I was broke because this stuff, man, it's a passion, man, that like you have to make sacrifices for, you know, and that's what some things that bothers me, because like, man, like people want that instant gratification type stuff, and it doesn't happen, you know. You have to want it and work for it. 100%. Nothing's given to you. No, you know, nothing. But yeah, that's it, man. Because I've had a few of these cars, man, and it's each one of them was always working and learning too. Like, you know, I've put many things like wrenching with this car. I've applied to, you know, other aspects in life, you know, problem solving using a multimeter, you know, learning how to use a factory service, man, like all kinds of shit. Right. You know, it's weird. It's not just a car. This thing is also, you know, brought in, you know, people that I never would have talked to, you know, and, you know, made friendships and stuff like that. And like, it's so much more than a car, you know. That's big time.
You're not wrong.
Oh, dude.
Not even a little bit.
100%.
But, all right, sir. Yeah. I want to thank you very much for having us in here.
Don. Yeah, man. Heck yeah.
All right, guys. Make sure you click the follow and subscribe buttons, and we will catch you on the new one.